Hello, what's up, folks? I'm here with a very special edition of our Black Widow review. I've got the Sarah and Gord edition coming up. So we have reviewed the movie in the Full Heroes World podcast, but I wanted to get some good friends of the store and show to come in and talk about their experience with the Black Widow movie. So we know the new Black Widow movie. Sorry, Sarah and Gordon. I'm pretty sure you guys can figure out who's who. Black Widow 2021, and there's Butters. I forgot to label Butters. But Black Widow just came out in theaters and is available on Disney Plus via the premiere feature that you can unlock and have access to the movie as long as you have your Disney Plus. So we have watched it. Most people already know that I did enjoy it, so I wanted to get you guys just kind of quick reviews, like if you liked it or you didn't like it, and then obviously we're going to talk a little bit of spoilers. We're just going to have a little bit of fun just talking about the movie for a little bit. So I will let Sarah go first. What did you think of Black Widow, starring Scarlett Johansson, finally getting her own movie?
To be honest, I like Black Widow. I like the movie a lot. Let's just put it that way. But it really wasn't for Scarlett Johansson. It was actually for Florence. So I watched her in, was it Fighting with My Family? I think that's what it's called. And I really liked her in that. So she's kind of the reason why I wanted to watch this movie.
So yeah, so the new characters debut, as well as Scarlett, is a nice bonus, and we're going to get into that. We're going to talk about characters for a quick second after. Gord, overall, what did you think of this film?
Didn't have a lot going into it. Wasn't super excited about it. I think it's just kind of the COVID fatigue of seeing so many trailers and waiting for so long that I lost all excitement for this movie, which was kind of odd. But I found myself laughing a lot. The family humor was brilliant. And like Sarah, I don't think Scarlett Johansson, I don't think it was the swan song that everybody was kind of hoping it would be. I definitely think it was a great way to introduce a whole bunch more characters into the mix. Although they weren't true to the comic book about who a lot of those characters were. And so I sort of had a problem with that, but that didn't hit until after the movie. I was into the movie. I enjoyed it through the whole thing. Like I said, I laughed a whole bunch of times. Went back, watched a couple scenes, more than once, which drove her nuts. And then, but then after I sort of stopped to think about it, and that's when that.
Yeah, so you kind of got to take yourself out and you got to go, this is MCU. This is not comic book. These characters might appear again somewhere else and maybe they'll be changed, especially we're going to maybe brief mention of Taskmaster. I don't think we're going to get too much into it for this particular review. But let's get into the characters. So we overall did like the film. Scarlett Johansson, like you mentioned, a lot of people maybe were expecting this to be a grand swan song ending to her kind of career as Black Widow, but she has played Black Widow in a lot of these movies already. And she, I think she has a producer credit on this movie and things like that. And if you watch interviews, it almost looks like she is almost intentionally, I don't know if I'm just going to speculate here, that she is getting ready to hand this kind of baton and to kind of pass this down. And if you watch any of the interviews with her and Florence, they're like best friends, like they're like sisters in real, and it's so cool. They're so complementary to each other that I feel like almost Scarlett was like kind of setting up this young actress to kind of come up in the ranks. So I think that was very cool, and that'll lead us into who is your favorite character. I think we already know Sarah's answer, and it's actually the same as my answer, but I don't know if you have any more that you want to talk about who your favorite character was. And I'm pretty sure it's Yelena, who was played by Florence Pugh.
Yeah.
No, she was awesome.
It's just the way she delivered her lines that's my kind of humor, that very dry wit and, very serious in the way that she delivers the funny lines. That had me cracking up. Like the whole part about her vest in the pockets. It's just, I was dying.
Yeah. She's like, oh, I customized it and made it whatever. Was she your favorite character as well, Gord?
Yeah. I love David Harbour. I thought he was awesome. I was huge fan of that guy, but Yelena's character stole the whole movie.
Yeah, I feel like she definitely. Yeah, a lot of people say she stole the show, but I actually kind of like when I watched those interviews with her and Scarlett, I feel like Scarlett almost like let her kind of do it. I don't know how much behind the scenes production and stuff that she did, but since we'll isolate it to those two characters now. Then, so there's Scarlett Johansson, Natasha Romanoff, and the Yelena character, two sisters. Do you guys? It's going to be a weird question for Gordon and maybe for myself, but do you guys identify with any one of these sisters? Or do you feel like you're like the younger sister, or you're like the ScarJo's character in charge? Sarah, do you have an answer for that one?
Well, I am the younger sister in real life, so always feeling like you get left behind, Tim. Yes, I do. As a younger sister, you kind of feel sometimes that, you can get left behind or forgot about. And so definitely, I like to think I'm the more sarcastic one, but my brother's pretty sarcastic.
Yeah. She had like this kind of dry kind of humor in getting these stingers in, which I think I've been on the receiving end a couple of times. So I definitely can see that you would kind of like feel more like that character.
Yeah.
I feel like I am a little bit more to ScarJo's side, whereas like kind of trying to do the overachieving, trying to like kind of take care of all the things, whereas Flora seemed kind of like the cooler one, kind of more like laid back. She kind of like knew her skills and things like that. Gord, did you have a sister that you were leaning more towards?
Yeah, I'm the youngest of three. Well, four total, but three older sisters, and so yeah, I definitely I can connect to that whole trying to live up to your older sibling. Moved around a lot too, so that sort of also I get what she was going through. Did a good job.
Yeah. Even my brother also agrees that she was like the best part of the movie, and he is my younger brother, so I think we might be onto something here. Why people are really liking this character. But we'll move on to our next point of discussion, which is your favorite scene. So we'll just kind of quickly mention our favorite scenes. So I'll let Sarah go first. Do you have a favorite scene from the movie?
If you know yours, you say yours.
Why do you do the superhero landing? You're a poser. Like, cracked me up. Just brilliant.
The first thing that came to my mind was actually the one where Florence does the superhero pose, and then she's like, "No, I can't do this." Like it's
yeah. It's a joke that they set up, and she kind of just has fun with it. They're just kind of like sisters getting along, and I think they're at a convenience store or something. They're buying stuff, and they're kind of casually talking. And she's like, why do you do this thing with your hair? And Scarlett does do it in every movie, I feel like. And she does do it later on. So the joke pays off later on when they go to the Arctic rescue. And then she does it herself at the end. So it pays off even more then. I'll throw out mine and see if Sarah has anything else to throw in. So if you did watch the podcast, my favorite scene, and definitely is for the whole movie, was when the two sisters first meet in that weird safe house and they just go at each other. And I don't know if there was a reason for them to really do it, because it seemed like they saw each other, they knew who each other were. So it was almost like they were just like testing each other and seeing how good the other one was. And then Florence goes over and just kind of like casually grabs the knife, and she's kind of like, all right, let's go. Let's see if you can handle this kind of sis, right? So I don't know if you have another scene that maybe you really liked in the movie, Sarah.
Well, it's funny because about that scene, I actually said to Gord when it was happening, like, why are they trying to kill each other? Like, I don't understand this, because she clearly like went to her for help. But I did like the scene with all the family members together. Eating at the table, where they start to kind of go back into their role as a family, like sit up straight and eat food, and so I thought that was really sweet.
Yeah, that dinner table dynamic I think was a key element, and I think they knew because they used it a lot in the trailers and stuff like that. So definitely,
which I don't know if this is actually good, that a lot of our scenes that I liked had nothing to do with action in this movie.
No, I like part of the reason I like the movie so much is the cast. They kind of, I just like watching this cast together. So it doesn't necessarily mean the action or like particular like heavy points in the story. It was just them just doing stuff together. Like I could have done with another hour of just Scarlett and Florence just doing stuff together when they're in the car scene, everything. Like almost every scene that they're in together, like it really shines.
Yeah.
So let's go on to our next kind of quick question, and we'll throw it to Sarah first. So Scarlett Johansson has been stated in interviews that she keeps a copy of her suit from every movie. So in her interview, she's like, make sure you wrap up my costume for me. So I think that's really cool that she likes to keep it. Did you have a favorite costume that they showed in this particular movie? So she got to wear a couple different ones, and they kind of threw in, I don't know if you're just going to maybe pick the vest. I don't know if that's what you're going to pick, but do you have a favorite costume from this movie?
Well, I guess, I mean, the sentimental wise, yes, the best. But I think what looked the best was their white suits. That looked pretty amazing. I thought they looked pretty good in that one.
Yeah. I really like those white suits. Gord, I don't know if you ever saw this movie called The Island with Ian McGregor and Scarlett Johansson in it. And they would, open their clothing, and there'd be all these white gear. So they had these kind of Under Armour / Lululemon looking outfits and the shoes and everything that matched. So I don't know if something about just the white color of the suit stuck out to you, or did you like maybe some of her other costumes?
No, I definitely noticed that they gave Scarlett Johansson better fitting costumes. But to me, the Taskmaster's costume actually was awesome. The visor, the hood, the way it moved, I thought that was a really, really good costume from out of the whole thing.
Oh, the Crimson Dynamo did get into that suit real nice.
Yeah, that suit looked good on him. It looked pretty good on him. So yeah, I think our secret kind of favorite is probably the vest. I'll throw up a quick picture of it here. So that's the vest, and I think that was definitely one of the best parts of the movie. I've often debated on getting a lot of us call it like the uncle vest. Like, you have that uncle that has the fisherman's vest, and I'm like, that would be so convenient. I could put my phone here, I could put my earphones here, I could put all my other stuff here. But then I guess form over fashion. But she did make that vest look damn good. And then that'll just bring me to my kind of like final question, and we kind of already brought it up a little bit earlier. Have you ever done a superhero landing? So I know you guys both are pretty good athletes. Sarah, in particular, you're training a lot right now. So have you ever done anything that kind of leads you to do the superhero landing?
I have never done the superhero landing, but you can ask Gord. Something I want to do before I die is I want to have one of those slow motion walking scenes where you walk to the camera and then like your posses like come and meet you kind of together, and we keep walking with a really good music.
Posse?
No, I don't. I need to Butters in house will be my posse.
All right. Well
Get walking into Heroes World.
No superhero.
Yeah. So should the photo op arrive, we'll definitely have to figure out how to put together that shot. So Gord, have you ever like jumped off your bike or out of the rivers that you dive into and just kind of went boom, 3-point landing, pop the head up?
It's the Batman tuck and roll. Like you fall off something, fall out of a tree, fall off a roof, and just sort of try and make it look graceful, but don't. I had a martial arts instructor once tell me I fell really poorly, so he threw me around a room for a few weeks, taught me how to roll.
Oh, he can't do the superhero landing, but he has done the Dream Weaver in the pool.
So yeah, I can see that. Yeah,
his hair will go like this.
Yeah, just kind of like whip it back. I think you got to grow a little bit longer, and then you just come.
It used to be really like it used to be your length, and I'd constantly be doing that. Everybody nailed me on it. Yep.
Oh man.
How about you,
All
John?
right.
You done the superhero landing?
Yeah, I trained in wushu, which is a little more kind of artsy, almost dance-like, and there's a lot of moves where you kind of will do like maybe an inside roundhouse or whatever, and you'll land and you'll kind of like go like this. And I remember my Sifus would be like, oh, that looks cool. I'm like, you're telling me it looks cool, but you're the one that told me to do it. So I don't know if you just like taking pride in your work. You're like, oh, I told you to do that. That looks cool. But it is a lot of fun. So if you ever get a chance to do it, and if we get an opportunity, maybe we'll have to like do some videos or something for jokes.
I can see it in my head now. I can my slow-mo walk with you and the. Oh yeah, I can see it.
And then someone trips in the background.
Yeah, exactly. That'll be Rob.
Yeah, Rob.
Yeah, that would be great. All right, cool. So overall, any other thoughts you kind of want to drop about this movie? Would you recommend it to someone to watch now? It's brand new, so maybe some people are hesitating to do either the unlock or next week in Canada, theaters will be open. Would you recommend people go see this movie, Sarah?
I did like the movie, but considering how much movies are these days, I would probably wait until it streams on October or so.
Okay, yeah.
Yes. I'm cheap. I don't know.
Yeah. I go see it, because you know what, it's been so long in theaters, especially in Ontario. But if you're somewhere where you've had access to movies for a while, then just stream it. But I think in Ontario, we definitely need people getting back into theaters.
Yeah. It's hard because it got pushed back so much, and like you stated before, the kind of like motivation or excitement to see it just kind of kept getting pushed, kind of kept getting taken away. They're like, oh, it's going to come out. No, it's not. It's going to come out. Oh, maybe this pandemic's going to be over. But I would say I think if you do see it in the theater, I think you will enjoy this movie. Like there's a lot of explosions and that kind of stuff. So I kind of wish I did wait an extra week or two and maybe see it in the theater, and maybe I would have thought even higher of it. But thank you very much, guys, for doing this special Sarah and Gord edition.
I got one question for you. Did you think that this movie was a like almost mirror copy to Moonraker?
I'm the wrong person to ask. So
Okay.
I don't know what happened in Moonraker. Do you feel that it was a mirror
So
copy?
that was the movie. That was the James Bond movie that she was quoting in like the first third of the movie. And then to me, the floating red room looks so much like the space base from Moonraker. And the falling scene without the parachute, like there were so many ties to James Bond that like halfway through it, I was like, wait a minute. Is this sort of like an homage to that as well? So anyway, I'll be interested to see if there are a bunch of theories about that one coming out.
Yeah. Maybe they noticed it after, and maybe that clip wasn't in there, or maybe she was watching a different movie, and they're like, "Oh, we got to do Moonraker because people are going to point this out, so we might as well own it." But we'll see how that goes. Thank you very much, very much. Thank you so much. It's late. We just did 2 shows in a row, but thank you very much, guys, for joining me on this. Sarah, I believe you have a new Instagram that you're doing your training on, or
Yes.
plugging that. Yeah.
Oh man.
It's the Black Widow.
Okay, no. So we'll leave that. If she wants to share that, I'll add it to the comments. If not, then we'll let it. It'll be a secret. So thank you so much, guys. I think I've got the exclusive for you guys for now. That we won't reveal.
Oh yeah.
Thank you so much, guys. We'll catch you on the next one. And yes, enjoy your night.